Friends, enemies, lovers, and rivals. Welcome to episode 86 of the Great Pendragon Campaign. How are you two doing today? Hope you're doing well.
Good. Cozy and snowed in right now.
Yeah, good.
That's nice. I have not seen snow here in Dublin. There's been no snow ever. Seen flurries, but nothing ever sticks. So I know I know about the Vermont life, and I know about Maryland now. So apparently it's all right. Well, I'd have to enjoy it vicariously. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it vicariously through you all.
Yeah. Thanks for doxing me, by the way. Jesus. Just you want me to give
There
out
you
my
go.
address now? My
Yeah, please.
social security number? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that would help. I got to fill out my taxes, so if I can just tack that stuff on,
Yeah.
file as a dependent
That's
under
good.
you, that'd be.
Someone needs to do my taxes. That's,
Gonna be that time.
I gotta stop making that joke. The IRS is actually gonna audit me,
Having
I assume
been
the
audited
IRS
several
watches.
times
Yeah.
by the IRS, it's not that bad.
Really?
Yeah,
It
in
occurs to me,
truth, it's really not that bad.
I have no idea what it's like. The only time I know about auditing is obviously from shows where it's the FBI and the IRS kick in the doors
Yeah.
and they're like, everyone get away
Auditors.
from the shredders.
Now you get a letter.
Yeah, exactly.
They call you.
You get a
They have a
yeah.
whole- yeah.
You get a letter that's like manually typed, and
Yeah.
they're like, "This is serious, and you need to call us." It's like pretty much. Yeah.
Without going in too far into details, it's precisely because of those sorts of TV shows that the IRS decided to completely change how they collect.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, my alma mater refused to send my senior year of college's like transcripts and proof and diploma and stuff. So the IRS didn't know that I was a student that year, and I claimed I was a student and all that kind of stuff. And so they were like, "Yeah, you owe us $6,000." And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh." And then I call my school and it's like, "Oh yeah, you didn't pay your $25 fee to get your diploma." So we didn't honor sending any mail or anything. I'm like, yo, this was $25. You don't have any idea how much fear I just had struck into my heart from the IRS. And I was like, this is the most terrifying thing in the world.
Yep.
Yeah. Since then, I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna play everything safe and double check all my taxes and do all that stuff. But yeah, that was not fun. That's yeah. All right. Anyways, no, it is fun though. Chess with UFO. So we're gonna open, as promised from last session. UFO has begun to play chess with you, and UFO's moves are bold and daring. He gets a clever check on you after an unexpected bishop trade. My question to you is: does he draw you out, throwing you off your game, or do you recognize his plot in time and redouble your efforts?
Hmm. Uh, I think Ace recognizes the plot. I think that kind of having one's hand forced by bold action is something that Gareth became acquainted with, and so when he was teaching the game to Aeswin, kind of passed that patience along. Patience is the virtue that I think Aeswin tries for.
Yeah, you remain as the pieces
Right.
dwindle. Yeah, I imagine UFO is the type of guy who like wants to queen trade immediately.
Oh yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Just total aggro
That's my-
trade.
It's my brother in a nutshell. We play chess pretty regularly, and he hates how I don't trade unless I'm sure to get the material advantage, and sometimes even then I won't if I don't get a good position out of it.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no, like let's just get this over with. I'm like, no, let's not get it over with. Let's continue to play the game, brother.
Yeah. So you send over messages and that kind of stuff, and it continues. We'll see what happens later on.
Right.
All right. Till's Head. It's probably not Sweeterin, but it's probably another of your lower stewards of your house, some of the maintainers. Your apiarist comes in and is pretty frantic with you this spring, saying that he cannot locate your bees.
In?
Indeed. They've seemed to have all up and left.
Uh, we'll find them, is what Gorthron has to say to that.
Of course. Shall we go to the Muse and use the Falcons?
Yeah. Yes, let's use the Falcons. I've named the Falconer. Tinger.
Oh yes, Tinger. Well, Tinger is such a good hunter. He would help us find these bees at once.
Let's do it. Yeah. These bees keep. This is like, how many times have the bees wandered off?
It's pretty common.
From our hives, pretty common. Yeah. These wandering bees. I don't like it. Becomes too suspicious. Gorthron's been at home for like a full year, and it's just good. It's like climbing the walls. It's like, it must be witchcraft. We have to find out.
Oh man, it's true.
Like, the bees are missing. I'll put everything down. Let's find them.
Love it. It's also been a relatively peaceful spring, domestically. There's really been not a lot of action going on. Now, I don't know how much you pay attention to soothsayers and the like, but they are calling for a pretty bleak year. They don't think a lot of rain is coming. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's to be expected. It's been a while since we've had a really bad year.
Yeah. They have measured the apogee of Mercury and decided it's in retrograde, and therefore gonna be a bad year.
Be a bad year. All right. We'll know to eat more flaxseed.
Yeah. They say no more cinnamon.
Yeah. It's some housekeeping kind of stuff while we're around Till's Head. So this, our May baby, are they like growing? Are they aging? Are they?
Yeah. No, they're growing up just like a person now.
Okay.
Right.
I think the best
just
course
like
of
a
action,
person. Very human like. They have
just like them.
Yeah. Isn't it cool that I have 5 fingers just like you?
It's just
these digits. I have 10 digits total. Just like a normal person is what they say.
It's like, yep, just exactly like that. Of course. Keep an eye on him. Arthur has made his decree. It would be cruel to mistreat them or deny them a place in the house. But treating them more like a ward or an illegitimate child than like a part of the family, I think.
Okay.
Because it's like Gorthron isn't certain that this isn't a demon. That this didn't come from some encounter he had in fairyland that snuck in with these other, the supernatural works in all kinds of ways. And so Gorthron wants to he doesn't want to, deny them, but it's also like this isn't his kid as far as he knows. But as a child, he's responsible for nonetheless.
Sure. I'm sure that's a very nurturing environment for a kid to grow up in.
Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? Like, this kid will have a place in the household, assuming they have a predilection for it. We'll train him as a knight, all that good stuff. Yeah.
That sounds good. Good for me.
And then was what's her name? Lady Bryn ever able to find a surgeon?
Yes. Sorry. The surgeon's name was Edith.
Yeah. Basically, I was wanting a dedicated, dedicated surgeon to accompany us, and that my former mace instructor, Guarder, I want to promote to be a guardsman, pay them 1 extra, and for them to guard my non-combat part part of my routine that accompanies me to war. That's a bit like because they're just like a freeman who's good with a mace, but I feel like I've got like a surgeon now and some others. If we ever go into battle, I don't want them to be without protection. And if like you're just a guardsman basically, so pay Guarder to do that instead of acting as mace instructor.
Yo, okay, sorry. I got 80% of that. My roll 20 is fucking up really bad right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My dice window that pops out is just not loading anymore. So I'm just gonna fix this real quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say basically just I'm promoting him to guard the non-combat part of the entourage when we go to war.
Works for me. Here. Okay, there we go. All right, I saved the day. Okay. That everything. So if you want someone who's going to stick around, in case of war, that's pretty prescient. But right now nothing's going on. What about Winterborn Gunnet? It's having a nice year.
Having a nice year. I think Acewin is very much trying to. We talked about this a little before. That Acewin is really doing her best to not interrupt the normalcy that had preceded Arthur's banning of polyamory, right? That so like yes, keeping the family separated for propriety's sake, but Acewin is really not compromising on the amount of time that she sees, both Archie and Yanto, both wife one and not wife. Trying to. I don't know if we're doing any like projects at Winterborn Gunnet because of that, or no, actually, I want Acewin to do some improvement to like have like a project at each sort of manor for the kids, and I'm trying to think what that might be.
Some kind of like investment type thing for them, like
Yeah.
orchard kind of things like that, where
yeah, like something that can be a reliable reason for her to show up there, and that she can kind of like sort of dedicate to them. I like the idea of the orchard. I think I mentioned last time wanting to do like a vineyard or an orchard.
Yeah.
And then I said I was going to look up which one I wanted, and I never did that. So let's go orchard because we have one player did a vineyard. So let's do an orchard. I think orchard is the one.
Okay. No, I like the idea, and that's plenty of reason to get that stuff set up. Fruit trees take a long time.
Start teaching the virtue of taking care of the thing for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I think the first sign of unease, I guess, societally about your current arrangement probably comes to you through your priest, saying how the politics of Salisbury is kind of changing a little bit. The other priests, with sort of the disappearance of Merlin and Nimue taking more of like a backseat. The clergy are feeling a little more like things should be a certain way, and that he's kind of losing his own prominence by sort of like not necessarily having to defend you, but just sort of being put in the position of knowing someone who's not, quote unquote normal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so so I think like nothing's changed right now. He's not like on the outs or anything yet, but he just realized as I like, oh yeah, okay, it's beginning to be a little bit of a problem with some of the priests.
I don't think Aeswyn takes that well.
Sure.
I think she's probably a little bit more snippy and or dismissive about it to him than maybe she should be.
Sure.
Than is maybe wise.
Yeah.
But like the idea that he's complaining about this, it's like, fuck you. Like, I've had to renegotiate this entire domestic space because of some shitty ass law. Like, I think she's like, I don't think you know what you're saying, and I'm gonna let this go for now. But like, maybe don't bring this shit up as much in front of me.
Yeah. He gets the message. Okay, I think it's time for Easter Feast. If there's nothing else to do this spring.
Hell yeah.
The other thing I had down was Squires.
We did Squires last time.
Gorthrin didn't get yes, because I was playing Hrothgar then.
That's no wonder I had everything mixed up. So that means my notes for you are Hrothgar's notes. Okay, well then you're right. I have to give you a new squire because I was giving Hrothgar. I just went over this before you came in with Colin, being like, hey, just to double check, Wagon of Vagon are these things. But yeah, I forgot I didn't give you. No wonder I'm like having to double check this stuff. Okay, then I need to give you your squire. All right, your squire's name is Caradig. Caradig hails from Ebel. Ebel being the southern one. They are both simultaneously they're being if you do not direct them in any particular way, these traits of theirs will continue to become notables, and that is being pious and lustful.
Are they like, do they have any connections or anything? Are they someone's son or something?
Yeah, they are the heir to Ebel, the Castellan of Ebel.
Pious and lustful. That's big Frollo energy there. It's
Yep.
All right. Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Take them on. If there's another squire available, Gorthrin has room in his household for a second. And then after this year, we'll figure out which one is the body squire who accompanies him in battle and which one's just sort of the person who helps that person. the second squire.
Squire.
I forgot you get second squire. So it's another Pedrog. It's another Pedrog.
Fond memories of Pedrog, by the way, from Gorthrin. Pedrog's real.
Yeah, they have a lot of
good name. Good name, Pedrog.
Yeah, strong pedigree.
Yes.
All right. Without any changes to Pedrog, it would be lustful, energetic, and modest.
Modest. So we've got a lot of just male energy in the house.
Yeah.
This year, just a
lustful,
lot of
lustful, energetic, modest. That's what Gwagon of Vagon is too. We were talking about. We were just talking about that. It's like the opposite of a fuckboy. It's just like a very confident but socially active young man. Don't need to brag about those W's. The smash is its own reward, man.
Yep.
Speaking of second squires, didn't Gareth have like a martial squire when he became marshal?
Yeah, and you should have another one as well.
Okay.
This is like the more office one.
Yeah, this
All
is
right, let me
the
generate.
secretary this is secretary squire.
All right. The secretary squire for you is Moriad. Moriad of Tilsbury. They are, without any changes, generous, just, and cruel.
Interesting combo.
Yes.
Very interesting combo. And the final thing is, I believe, yes, Archie has just turned 10 this year, so I think he gets sent off to the page program. Which honestly actually probably means that Aeswyn doesn't have to split her time quite as much between the two manors, because Archie's off
In Sarum.
at Sarum, yeah. So yeah. Yanto's getting some solo parenting now.
Yeah. Wild. Okay. Anything I'm missing as far as their stats or anything? No. Okay. Cool. I think it's feast time.
Feast time.
Of course, this is Easter, happening in Camelot.
Fail fashion. Succeed appearance.
That's good. So you're still going to be near the salt. I have to fix the damn screen again.
You know, I think I've gotten real lucky with these appearance rolls, considering my appearance stat. So it's almost always a coin flip, but I can count on one hand the number of times I failed it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's been. Is there? There's not a like below the salt is the bottom, right?
The floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
The chances of us being on the floor though in Camelot as Knights of the Round Table, that's not fucking
literally.
That's like that's some Age of Uther shit.
Yeah. So here
is where we sleep.
Here are the major headlines that you've received coming in this year. For starters, Gwain's back, brought in by Pelennor.
That guy.
Yep.
Fucking Pelennor, man.
Also, Brastias is said to be announcing his retirement. After Ulfius' passing, he's also ready to call it in.
Yeah. That's surprising, even though he's younger than Pelennor. I recall Brastias being very active during like the Anarchy and like the fact that he came out and survived all that.
Yeah, he still survived Baden Hill, but like Baden Hill was kind of did him in, you know. He hasn't been.
Yeah.
He's been more honorary anyway, so he's like Knight Table Emeritus. You know what I mean? Where it's like, dude, like no one has to fucking question Brastias. You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna be like he doesn't deserve it. You know, like this guy, he's been around forever. Just like Ulfius and stuff. Like originally rags to riches. It was a mercenary in the Anarchy.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Is like he was unhomed during the Anarchy, and to come out on the other side, being a mercenary during the Anarchy is impressive.
Yeah.
Cats.
Yeah,
it was. The dogs are going after the cat.
Yeah. And not just the Anarchy, but then surviving through the Boy King as well, and all the fights, and then it's culminating to Baden Hill. Yeah. Very few, very, very, very few knights make it through the funnel. But here we go. The The last thing to announce, and this is sort of like late to the party, is that Sir Ufo's heralds announced that he will not be attending of Silchester, if you remember from last session.
Not attending the Easter feast.
Correct.
Okay.
As another insult to Arthur.
This guy.
Yep.
Definitely something to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's roll up the food. Haslet for Mounties. And then roast bream served in a pastry. I believe bream is a fish.
I think it's like a eel. No, it is a fish. Don't know why I thought it was an eel.
The common bream.
Haslet.
I'll eat it.
Haslet is pork meatloaf. Oh, that actually looks real good.
I'll eat that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can buy
from
Tesco.
old French.
I can buy
old
Haslet from the
French
store. Right now.
derived meaning entrails. Okay.
Yeah.
Slightly less. Typically served cold with pickles and salad or as a sandwich filling.
Right.
Interesting.
Haslet,
the Welsh version
the Welsh
is
scrapple.
Potatoes, pig's liver, and onions. Okay.
Yeah, Welsh scrapple is what it is from in my head now.
Yep. Cold Welsh scrapple.
Best served cold.
That was a roller coaster for me. I was like, ooh,
Yep.
Pork meatloaf. I love meatloaf.
Yeah.
Served cold.
Continue, but listen,
Right.
from a more
What's
distant
next?
stance.
Yeah. Oh, it's on the sandwich. Okay.
Back in.
Pig's liver and edible viscera.
Back to yeah. Back to distant stance.
All right. Starting, and I don't have to roll Lustful.
Mm-mm.
All right, here we go. Okay, we're showing up. We're showing up in all matching outfits. The whole household. Riding our new horses.
Nice.
They had to stop Gordon from putting bells on his shoes. It's not time yet. All right. For some reason, it's not letting me access my cards.
You might want to reload into Roll20. Roll20 is completely no. Well, it is. Borked. Yeah, my entire dice roller got borked. Like I couldn't enter anything into it. Refreshed it, didn't work. But I fixed it now. But just be careful.
Could be. Once I do this, I'll reload it just to be sure. Okay.
So, I actually think that Acewin is like showing up ready to party. I think she's been really evaluating how she gets along with the other Knights of the Round Table, and I think she realizes she's been a bit standoffish and formal with basically everyone. So I might do 3 rounds of drinking with the other knights. This might be like just let the hair down. We'll see.
I did not center this Roll20 screen well. I'm sorry. We're just gonna have to read them out loud. This shit's all fucked up now. Okay. We'll worry about it later. But okay. Tell us the cards.
All right. So I got Gentlewoman. A lady takes shine to you and helps spruce up some of your clothing. That's one. That's a keeper card. Then there's Passion, which would be during a conversation, a fellow guest says you lack passion. Ridiculous.
You don't actually love Guinevere.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You don't literally idolize her. Right. Great deeds, modest versus proud. Which ought to be fun given Gorthrin's not supposed to be boastful and proud anymore. But then I also just like a game of dice, given that it looks like Acewin is just gotta drink it up. I don't know. Last time at the feast, we got everybody drunk, and then Arthur had to be king. And
Man,
I think Gorthrin is climbing the walls to have an adventure, and I'm gonna go great deeds. Test modest
Good.
versus proud.
I don't know who the knight is, but I imagine it's like a 15-year-old, like, you know what I mean, or like like it's a kid, like either like a squire or like just like a 21-year-old, like a brand new knight. You know what I mean? Like it's somebody who grew up hearing of the tales. Like you didn't really kill a giant, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's been a few years. Yeah.
Is it them directly questioning or them just getting the story very wrong in that annoying way where you can hear it and like it's like, do I jump in and correct them?
After losing in the rhyming contest last year at the Saxon Hall, and it just feel listen, still it's a Selkie. Really? Come on. I killed giant. He's definitely giant. You guys talking about giants over there?
Yeah, it grows. Yeah, the story has grown more bold since its first telling.
Yeah. That we can listen. Embellishments in an individual telling are fine on my part. Others, it doesn't do to have them spreading falsehood.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Hey, okay.
Right.
They're both failing. What does that mean? Proud fails, so it means we're not.
So you don't have to roll orate and retell the story, but you also
classic. Nothing happens.
A classic. Yeah. Thing. I was surprised the proud lost. Yeah, I guess he.
Well, you don't gain the glory, but you also don't lose glory, is what it means.
He doesn't lose glory. I'm trying to like he's goes to correct and then just is like it's not worth it.
It's well because you fail both traits, so it's not that you're like incredible, you're just sitting there vibrating with this conflicted need to correct and also need to be modest.
Right, yeah. That's not how it happened. It's so long.
1,000-yard stare. Like Aeswin has this like snap in front of his eyes. Right. Like, are you here, Gotham?
Yes.
We get like a whole imagined sequence of Gorthrin like dressing down and then giving this great speech about what actually happened, and then we snap back to the reality and you're just sitting there.
Right. The moment has passed.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. What would it be? Ace wants to socialize by drinking.
Yeah.
But
Browse.
the sort of mechanical
is indulgent.
Like I do want to. Okay.
But
yeah, I guess it's not gossiping.
But you want but if your intention is to socialize, right? Well,
the intention in order to socialize, but like it's not like I'm digging for info. It's not like I'm trying to get the vibe of. It's like I'm really actually trying to make a friend, which Aeswin is not practiced in.
Well, I think that's more. I mean, it's probably just like, let's just say a courtesy, and you earn yourself a geniality for doing it, right?
Okay.
So this, because your intention isn't to like let loose and super drink. The idea here is you just being social and talk through the process of like, you're not abstaining, but it's more about just being friendly with people, which is why I think it's just
okay. I like that.
Whoa! Okay. More than that. Okay. So you are notably courteous at this point. So let's describe what that could look like.
Yeah.
So you're just being a good facilitator of conversation, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Is it something like, I mean, is it just that like Guinevere's talking to you all too, and like you got Guinevere's ear, and like just talking to like the more important people at the round table right now, and just or like what
my instinct is so like talking it through out loud. Courtesy is the proper ways
Etiquette.
of addressing people and etiquette. Yeah. And those are the intention behind these things are always to recognize who someone is and where they fit in sort of the social scheme, right? So I think by critting it, it's Acewin is like on the ball about making everyone feel very comfortable that they're getting like the respect that is due to their station. She's not suck any boot heels. She's not
Yeah.
talking down to anyone either, right? Addresses the squires with the proper authority and respect, addressing their peers with the commendable amount of deference, and addressing those above her with the proper yeah.
Can we contextualize this about Sir Brastius? The announcement of retirement, and perhaps like the way you express the respect, or linguistically jujitsu, someone being like, I don't understand why Brastius is so great and he gets to retire, and like maybe it's kind of a comeback from that, or I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. I like the that it I think Acewin properly talks about Brastius's contributions to the Kingdom of Logres, while politely and admirably avoiding the fact that he was just straight up a mercenary during the Anarchy. And that's like, he's above us. Like, that's how you talk to people above you. You don't bring up those faults. You don't bring up those burrs.
Yeah.
But also, you don't like.
He was so loyal. He refused to serve anyone who wasn't a real Pendragon.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you do for the Anarchy? We don't talk about that.
No. Well, we do talk about it. We talk about it very carefully.
Yeah. What I like about this. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, what I like about this courtesy check is that this shows your noticeable concern and improvement from last year.
Yep.
Where your hospitality was called into question.
Correct.
So this is a strong rebuttal to that, and clearly that was just a fluke.
Nice. Oh, I earned 2.
Yeah.
Genealogy on a crit, and I check courtesy.
Yeah. Right. So before the start of the next round, Arthur wants to call up Pellinor, and in doing so, he summons Gawain as well to come in front of sort of the round table and the rest of the feast. And Pellinor goes, "All right, kid, go on and tell him. Tell him what happened." And Gawain gets to recant to Pellinor in the way that a humiliated child basically has to say sorry to parents. And go. So Gawain, not a lot of eye contact, a lot of drilling his eyeballs into the stone, hoping to fall into the abyss to get out of this. Pellinor bested 30 knights and unhorsed me twice.
What?
And everyone's like laughing at Gawain for this. And then Pellinor's like, "Yeah, and in the interest of honesty, though, it wasn't me. Lamorak, my boy." And he's Sir Lamorak of the Round Table stands up and saying, "He rode in my stead. He unhorsed Gawain twice." And everyone's like, gasp, double claps.
Young knight
Gawain
taking out a grenade.
Gawain is very angry. Basically having to be put through this rigmarole. It's like, imagine leaving on his own terms, basically being forced back after losing this joust, and now humiliated a second time by, it wasn't even the person he thought, but his son. And yeah. Anyways, they go back to seating. Gawain, what would be a good nickname for Gawain? I think from Not sure, but like the point here is that like Gawain's kind of the butt of the jokes tonight at the feast and stuff. Like, hey, welcome back, prodigal son. You know,
Gawain I feel like there's something in like Gawain the sure-footed
yeah.
where it's just like, yeah, he has to be on his feet because he's not going to be on his horse.
But Sor Gawain.
Yeah.
With Sor Gawain, yeah.
To make it even more so, it's like Gawain gets to be humiliated in front of them. But you also know that Slur Lamorak's duties also go and say like he unhorsed Gaheris and Agravain, like all the Orkney boys. Basically, he showed up everyone at this tournament, and gets to come over here and rub it in everyone.
Fantastic. Love to see it.
Yeah. Gawain's like, if it wasn't rude, he would definitely excuse himself from the rest of the feast. He hates being humiliated like this.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's what you get.
Yeah, and let this be a lesson. And Arthur's like, yeah, let this be a lesson to other knights. Not just I spare no special treatment to my own kin. This is a responsibility to everyone on the round table. We should command ourselves in the best behavior, and we hold ourselves accountable. Yeah. And then Pellinor, or I'll find you.
This guy. Speaking of like the old guard, we've got Brastius and Pellinor here.
They're hanging out for most of the feast together.
Yeah.
He's like, come on. I know, like Pellinor is still doing it. And Brastius like, I'm too old to do this. And Pellinor's like, you're too old to do this. He's like basically trying to convince him to stick around, even though, he doesn't.
Yeah. They need to just like ride off together into the sunset.
But Pellinor basically has an energetic of 20. Like he's just like never gonna go.
Pellinor, have you considered not doing it to him? Gotta do it to him.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. So it's a good vibe. There's no sorcerer's shenanigans.
No one's bursting into flame.
No one's bursting into flame. Yeah. All right. I think here I've really gotten a lot of like new cards lately, so it's good. I'm tougher to choose. So I've got more drink, which that could be fun. A chivalrous life. The conversation turns to matters of chivalry, and then like roll d6 for a chivalrous virtue to test. Which half of them I really would be surefire, and the other half would be no way I'm winning this one. A lady's favor. A lady needs a knight to challenge another knight to a contest of honor. Orate, singing, or play. I guess play instrument. I was like, play. And then who are you, which is recognize. An unknown lady asks you to entertain her during the feast.
Chivalrous life is like, I can imagine reading that in some Arthurian thing where like, and then the knights began to talk about generosity. It's like, okay, clearly author has some opinions here and needs to get them out.
Yeah. I really kind of like this one, the chivalrous life.
Dialectic.
Just especially because it's been such a year of sitting around and attending to domestic matters and things like that, that this, Gorthrin, that energy is just, well, let's talk about it then. If we're not going to do it.
A lady
even get to save the king's life this year.
I imagine the lady's favor. It's like, I need a knight to challenge another knight to a contest of honor, and Gorthrin's like, oh hell yeah, and gets their sword, and they're like, by singing or making a speech.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Like, never fucking mind. God damn it.
It's like the sword that was broken has been drawn. Shit. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna play Chivalrous Life, and then let's roll that d6.
Right? Yeah, you can roll it. Valorous.
The
best one.
The
For you.
best one. Yes.
Yep.
There we go.
Have some
No.
good ideas.
There we
No
go.
surprise.
We'll talk about valor.
Um,
When I saw Sir Ascalon de Gaulle wielding Excalibur against our king, I didn't shirk and put myself in front of it. Short to the sword. There you go.
damn,
Very good.
I forgot. That's a good one.
Yeah, that was one where I was like, wait a minute. I don't know how the Excalibur is statted up in Pendragon, but I imagine it's a beast. I do not want to get wounded by this thing.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Okay. Drew cards because honestly, with a crit to courtesy, I don't want to jinx it by trying it again or some shit.
Special.
Nope.
No lord.
No lord. Yeah, I've been pretty good with the host cards lately. So, okay.
Pagan gift.
So I'm looking, but pagan gifts I can't because I'm not pagan. I'm looking at A Lady Departs and More Food. More Food I think would fit with the general theme of like socialize with the knights. I have an interesting idea about A Lady Departs though.
To Karen?
No. That's the complicated part. I'm wondering if it's some other lady, but it's someone who's also is kind of grading under Arthur's edict, and like we have the moment of commiseration, right? If I get that critical success, that moment of commiseration gets a little more complicated. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, I'm going to do A Lady Departs. Before I forget, grab my round geniality. Okay, swing. Courtesy. Okay, success, but I don't bang her. It's probably for the best. I already have a check to the skill. Nuts.
Gain 1 glory.
Which is such a weird amount of. You get like all the other cards is get like +5 glory. It even I think with some crits, it's like gain 5
10,
glory.
yeah,
like one glory. A single glory.
Well,
Love it. Yeah. So I think this is just like a conversation. I think. Oh yeah. This is a lady who is going, like, she showed up there with her spouse, but she's leaving to go see other spouse, right? The one that is not allowed to be the spouse. So like it's kind of commiserating over the fact it's like, yeah, we got now we have the public and the private, and it's a whole hassle because Arthur got all up in his feelings over this shit.
That's good. That doesn't mean that you depart the feast either, though, right?
No, I just escort her. Perfect. I would if I'd critted, there was a chance I do, because then bang knuckles.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that gets announced after. Okay. One more round, right?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. See what I'm missing. So I have a host card. Host speaks at length. Energetic versus lazy. All right. Excellent wine is what we're missing out on. Christian blessing and pagan pleasures. Oh, too bad for Gorthrin. But yeah, host speaks at length. The host rises and drones on about the current political environment.
Is this Sir Brastius's farewell speech?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good, yeah. That's a could just gonna give us a good old Ike style. Don't do what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, energetic versus lazy. It's not a surefire thing. Got an 18 energetic, so success.
Okay, pass. Fumble.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep, pass first one. Perfect.
All right. No need to fall asleep here.
Yeah. So energetic wins rolling intrigue.
Yeah.
And then if intrigue wins, something secondary happens. Am I getting the geniality bonuses for this intrigue, right? I feel like we always ask this. Intrigue feels like a courtly.
It is absolutely a courtly skill. But you also gain +5 intrigue for the rest of the feast.
Ooh, yeah.
So that would have been basically a 20. But like,
no, you get +5 intrigue for the rest of the feast if he passes the intrigue.
Oh yeah. That's
oh, I see.
Wins,
I see what.
intrigue,
Oh, got it.
Yep.
Got it. Never mind. Okay, that doesn't modify the intrigue roll. That's only if you succeed. Perfect. Okay.
For some of these cards, I feel like if they just offset the second set of rolls just a little on the card to make it clear
that it's contingent. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah. So
Lacey gets a check. Who cares about politics?
Yeah. So the good.
Right,
I think Brastius is warning us a little bit here about Silchester.
Yep. That follows. I'm
sagely.
I'm loving the cards that I drew because I love when the cards and the circumstances help us to kind of tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
We've had cards of Gorthrin like getting frustrated with like the very courtly kind of like atmosphere of like formality and long ass fucking speeches, and I'm drawing all these cards of like ladies flirting with Acewin and like I'm doing what young Gorthrin in his most lustful age was doing.
Hell yeah.
Because we have well dressed, a lady comments on my clothing. We have time to share, which would be hilarious if it were the start of the feast, but at the end of the feast, it's inconsequential. A chance encounter, a beautiful lady passes by and whispers in my ear, and keep dancing. I'm invited to dance by an eligible lady. Like, I think this is like the consequence of the aced courtesy roll is like by like that very proper giving everyone exactly their due. They're like, oh fuck yeah. Like,
your relationship is indicator is like multiple missile locks. Just like you have so many people want to talk to you.
Yep. I think I like a chance encounter.
Sure.
Follow me on this one. It's the spouse of the lady that I escorted.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, we're keeping it.
Like they're like, oh man, my wife had to go back to her chambers. Do you want to come back to mine? Like, yeah, I think that's gonna be.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good sitcom bit.
And Chase, I forgot. And Chased and Lustful is a coin toss. Okay.
Pass for Lustful.
I just need to pass.
You do.
Okay, so that's good.
Lord
That's
help
good.
you. What is it?
Yeah.
That was tough.
The fact that I
I mean,
still passed lustful tells me that like
you
he was
escort
considering
her,
it. I was
but it's you end at the
absolutely
door.
considering it.
Yeah. To me, it's the kiss goodnight or whatever that you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's the
turn
Leonard.
the cheek. Make
Yeah,
sure it gets on
exactly.
the cheek.
Yeah.
This is the big energy from Gawain and the Green Knight at the lady's household.
Yeah,
She's
and
crawling in and she's like, oh no, let's pray instead of whatever it is you want to do. I'll tell you all about prayer.
I wish there was a giant to step on me right now. Get me out of this. This is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah. And the knight's just like, I could step on you. No, it's okay. I gotta go back. Got the whole pork meatloaf entrails are calling me.
You just like pass a squire carrying a water bucket. You're like, oh, thank God. You just like dip your faces. Yep. Oh my God. Yeah. Tough. It's been a tough feast for you. But you make it through.
It's not. I've got so much glory.
Yeah.
This is in other ways, yes. Very tough feast.
Very good.
Lovely. All right. The feast will come to the close. Easter and everything gets wrapped up. Although there is a lot of confusion as folks try to leave, especially folks going far. They find the roads into Silchester closed to them by declaration of UFO. That
like that.
No one, anyone who is coming from Camelot is denied entry and use of the roads of Silchester. So everyone goes home through Salisbury, being like, "Okay, whatever, weirdo."
Yeah, this is a weird.
This is a problem.
Yeah,
Arthur. Arthur asked a couple people to stick around. The first thing out as like let's kind of like we cut to that part, right? The first thing out from the Knights of the Round Table is that Gawain is like immediately been like, let me duel the guy.
Let me add him.
Yeah, let me do it. Come on. I just got humiliated. I need the W, Arthur. What do you all say?
I think this requires a bit more delicate hand than a duel.
Multiple rock eyebrows are raised. What
UFO is, I mean, he is the Duke of Silchester. I mean, this is in terms of like Logris, this is like one of the grandees.
Yeah,
you know, like it would not do to treat him as a common knight, even if he is behaving like a spoiled child.
Yeah.
And that's the
he was
gist
coronated
of what
last
Gorthrid
year,
says.
right?
You know, that's the gist of what Gorthrid says. Like he might be young, but the position he holds is very important. It's not worth like we want him on our side, not antagonize.
We want to treat him according to his position, not his attitude. Right. He might be acting like a young knight, but he is a duke, the Duke of Silchester. I think Acewin springboards off that observation that Gorthrin makes, and it's like, well, do we have a duke that's sympathetic to us? Like have a duke to duke talk. Like send Arthur friendly duke to speak with Arthur unfriendly duke. See if we can resolve it that way.
And then, if needs be,
Pellinor stands up. Like, all right, here we go. Pellinor's like, all right, here I go again. Gonna fucking round up another kid. All right. He's like literally like stretching, been like, I should have just listened to Brastius. Like, all right, I'm gonna go do this.
But I think Acewin is maybe like,
I'll bring the kid over.
Do we want to do it? Because like unfortunately, Pellinor is like an old guard name, and will young UFO
like the king of
feel
Wales. Like he's certainly gonna do it.
Yeah, like I think that's too heavy-handed, because again, UFO's what he's like chafing under Ulfius's like shadow here, like the he's definitely reacting to his father's
Yeah.
relationship to Arthur's
Yeah.
family and stuff.
He wasn't allowed to just hereditarily join the Round Table. Second of all, access to Camelot Forest, which he calls Winchester Forest. So there's like several different lists of things from last year that are
yeah. I think sending in King of Wales too heavy-handed, but I think we got to send in like a duke or someone roughly in that.
Mark, yeah.
King Mark, yeah. Not King Mark. Duke Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sure, he'll do it. I can't promise that it won't come out to a duel.
Certainly.
Right, but I think the important part is if it comes out to a duel, that's a Duke duel, right? There's the parity of station, I think, is what Aeswyn is saying is important. She's been studying courtesy.
Sure.
Clearly, that's on her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cornish are natural peacemakers.
I mean, really, who are our options? I don't have the list of dukes in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I mean, Rolfus? Yeah, Rolfus could do it.
Rolfus could do it, but again, we're like,
he's not really a duke, but Silchester and Salisbury are not peers, technically.
Yeah, like who runs Rydachin?
Rydachin's also not a peer. I don't remember.
There's not many dukes in the.
They're not
dukes. Those are earls.
Yeah.
Like, what about Baron?
Yeah, like there's nobody. Like, remember Silchester? Like, basically between Silchester and Cornwall make up like 60% of all the knights.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they were contenders for the King of Logres after all.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. I think Cornwall. I mean, like, it's not the best, but like, we ought to at least try to resolve it peacefully, because what are the alternatives? We march on Silchester to besiege Lefkomagus.
Thinking about it, Duke of Cornwall might not be a terrible idea because of Cornwall's history to Logres and Uther, right? And like they managed to enter the fold and find some success here, but that wasn't always the case, and that might be some common ground to find with UFO. Be like, hey, I know you're chafing under the bit, but like it works out standing in line with Logres. It works out.
Very well. Okay. I think it's fair. I think it's going to be Duke Mark who's going to get sent over to try to make peace with UFO here. So you all get dismissed. I get to go back to Salisbury. UFO's given the chance to duel. You got pretty much you all are just waiting for the news, right? About what goes on, and until finally, you might all just be in Sarnum, just kind of waiting, so it's easier to get the message. UFO doesn't even come out to the walls of Silchester. Instead, it's the garrison commander who says like there's going to be no duel. He's under orders. UFO has ordered him to keep the gate shut. And so now Arthur's looking around and being like, okay.
Shit, man, we gave him a chance.
Gave him a chance. What it's going to do? What does he think he's going to, what does he think's going to happen?
Gorthrin's donning armor being like, it's such a shame,
Yeah, how many people do you want me to bring? How many people do you want me to bring? I can bring some folks. We'll be there tomorrow.
So we're sieging.
Right.
Now, cut to the month ahead as you all have assembled the siege weapons, basically like using the wood of the forest that you were supposed to protect. By the way, that was of a question, by the way, as a huge flex. Second of all, I think as maybe it could be considered merciful, but Arthur does not order the attack on the city yet. But basically, just we're gonna just have siege weapons ready, everything around, and Arthur's gonna perform the somehow less violent act of starving a city out.
Yeah.
But basically, we like you guys like this is not an even close to even arrangement. Most of the knights and stuff of Silchester City and stuff are entirely just behind the walls, being like, why are we even doing this kind of thing? But torn with their loyalty, and they're sworn, so that's what they're doing.
Yep.
And this is sort of it. You all just get to hang around a siege camp for a while until Arthur orders the start of the fire. What do you all do to pass the time?
Well, I imagine there's a lot of like just patrols and the like. I think Gorthron is just really wanting some action, and so it's like, we need to do patrols? Do we need to round up anything? Are we requisitioning?
I think Acewin's going to kind of see that and step in and be like, how about we go on a quick little hunt, Gorthron? Let's let's help you bleed off of this excess sanguine humor that you clearly have going on. Let's go kill a boar or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it a faux pas to hunt in the same woods that we just harvested for siege weapons?
Probably.
Yeah.
There would be, yeah. I mean, those are
not.
Not really. No, I mean, yeah, I imagine just like the rest of the army though is also basically trying to hunt here. But my guess, the only reason why would be a faux pas is that I don't expect there to be a lot of game left, considering there's a whole army using it as their food, right?
But we can't go far because technically still part of the siege.
Yeah.
A ride is a ride.
Could pretty much. Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much just go take a couple days, take a weekend, get a weekend pass, and just go home.
That's true. Yeah.
I think
I don't think we'd want to actually go home. Maybe we'd hunt somewhere close by, because the worst thing would be for the siege to resolve while Gorthron isn't there. He would hate me so much.
Yeah. I don't want to go that far.
Yeah. And the second thing though is like, in general, it's definitely one of the weirdest siege camps you've ever been a part of.
Right, like I'm not looking forward to assaulting Silchester.
No one, exactly. No one is, and that's sort of the thing.
Are there still civilians in there? Are there still like townsfolk?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's exactly why Arthur's like
the whole thing.
That's exactly why Arthur's not doing it. He's like, we owe it to the people of Silchester that we should hold off.
Certainly, yeah. Perhaps.
And then they, and every day, they send a rider imploring UFO to see wisdom, and relent. And every day, the commander of the guard turns them away. So that, everyone here is just kind of like, after like a couple of weeks, you're like, all right, that's fine. I'm definitely pillaging this place. This is a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's at some point, it's like this has got to pay for itself somehow. What could he be like? This may be where
speculative. Be speculative. What else are you going to do in a camp other than speculate?
This has got to be the work of. This has got to be another plot of Queen Morgan's. Like it must be, right? Why would this kid, just dig his heels in so much, especially after everything that we've been through? Although I guess he wasn't there. So nevertheless, there's some combination of like this kid was just invested as a duke, but the last 10 years have been nothing but nonstop glory and conquest for those of us who rode with Arthur. And then the 10 years prior to that was like you won glory for just like keeping your, you know, your home safe. And now this kid's like, what's there for me to do other than defy the king? Like, how could that would be so easy for Morgan to turn like a resentment at missing out on something into like, this is how you make your mark kind of thing. So that's Gorthrin's speculation. He's like, we've got to get to the bottom of this. This must be something going on here. Where's Merlin?
Yeah.
Where's
Merlin? It's not found. He's been missing.
Merlin's been gone for a while now.
Yeah,
right?
a couple of years now.
Yeah, I think Merlin's spent. All right.
I think the general zeitgeist of the round table is that it wasn't Merlin's magic that saved Baden's Hill. It's not going to be Merlin's magic that's going to, you know, win a siege.
Yep. I'm wondering if Acewen's continuing the game of chess.
You haven't received a reply in some time.
Yeah. Want to send a message? Just check.
Yeah. There was yeah, exactly. There was an unseasonably long delay in one of his moves, like his most recent move, and then that was it. Then you haven't heard anything after that delay.
Is there any way to sneak in? Like, is there, like, this is a walled town?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
want to scale the battlements?
Multiple gates somewhere, like, or I think more like, you know, like a postern gate or something smaller. I'm just like, Gorthrin probably spends most of his time just walking around, like making a circuit of it. Like, how could we get in there and find out what's going on? Because I really don't want to be part of a bloodbath of a bunch of innocent people because of this guy.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, if there's a way to scale part of it, or I mean,
by the same token, though, how knightly is it to sneak in a side gate? You know.
Yeah, this is where Gorthrin.
Unless you're going to open the main gate. Yeah,
I mean, it would be with the intent to let others in, and not like to skulk about, but just to find a weak point.
Yeah, how much do we know how much UFO likes large wooden horses? Is that something we'd know?
Yeah, he's not a fan.
It's fair.
What are the other like, what are his castellans and the marshal of Silchester doing? Like, are they all with him, or
no?
Like, did they leave?
I'm glad you asked.
Left Camagus undefended.
So Lev Camagus doesn't want anything to do with this. Lev Camagus betrays UFO and joins with Pendragons.
They haven't.
Okay.
They're also half of them is married with Radichin, so like they're completely like, yeah, we're done. We're not. Well, I'm going with Radichin on this one. We're not defying Arthur for you.
Yeah. Do the castellans there have any idea of what's going on with UFO? They have
no idea.
Okay.
They're saying that like this is like he was such a good boy. Don't know why he's doing this. You know, it was just since the death of his. You know, if anything, they're just treating it like he's just an innocent boy. He's grieving over the death of his father, and he just doesn't know how to deal with it yet.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah. The other sons of Ulfius are missing. So a lot of the other knights around Silchester that would be part of those domains are not helping or joining. They're basically like everyone's kind of just staying put. But what's weird is that basically no one of Ulfius's family's around.
At first, I was like, I don't think this has anything to do with Morgan.
It's max of some. There's just all kinds of
if it were just him being a peevish young man, but also the other sons are not around, like setting Silchester up to fall hard here.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So like, and here's the thing. Here's the difficulty is like, what is Duke Ufo's ask,
Yeah.
right? Like, we know
Yeah.
Arthur is here to like set him straight, to be like, staying in line, boy, you're my Duke, like, what the fuck? But is Duke
Basically
Ufo
succession.
asking for anything?
Basically secession, right? Like he's not recognizing Uther as a king. He's going to be his own petty king, and Silchester's is his.
Yeah, that's fucked, man. That's
Then, why should he respect the Pendragons when they don't respect his land? And basically, it's like the idea of the forest and stuff like that, of who it truly belongs to. Does it belong to the king or does it belong to him?
what a fucking hissy fit.
Yeah.
This is not a good look. And it also like really it really puts us in a bad situation, because this is exactly the kind of thing where like, yeah, we're gonna smack you down. You do not. You're like literally forsaking an oath that everyone here swore, and really truly the only thing
That he swore last year.
Last year, yeah, and really the only thing is like those innocents in the crosshairs. It feels like he's using them as a shield. It's like, just come out and fight your battles, man. We were willing to do this one-on-one duel type such.
Exactly.
You're not doing that. You're forcing our hand here in a real bad way. Man, Aeswin was ready to extend this kid a lot of grace because he's Ulfius's son, and Ulfius was a cool dude.
Yeah.
And in like a single year,
everyone feels that
straight away.
Everyone's in the exact same boat as you. Is that out of respect to Silchester's legacy, they have not proceeded the siege or anything.
Here's a thought.
Yeah.
What if we convince Arthur to just maintain the siege? We make no efforts to prosecute it, right? Mm-hmm. Just hold the siege.
That's what's going on right
bottled
now.
Up, and have him legitimize some other authority of Silchester. Be like, okay, you're not Duke anymore. Enjoy your petty kingdom of the single town that you control. We're going to make someone else a Duke, and they're going to run Silchester around you. Just take you out of the fucking equation, guy.
The natural choice would be his brothers,
who are all gone. Yeah. But like, uncles, cousins, anyone who could be like Duke interim.
Yeah. I think you could probably find an uncle.
Yeah. And the idea would be like, you are standing in for the eldest brother. All right. Whenever we find him, he's going to be the Duke, but you're the uncle. You are Duke.
I mean, I don't even know the uncle.
Yeah, I don't.
Pro temporum.
Yeah, but the politically, the idea is like,
a fan.
Isn't Duke a non-hereditary title? That I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, in theory, none of them are hereditary. It's just that they became hereditary over time. Like, in theory, they all rely on the king to dispense those titles, but that's not how it.
Duke Regent,
yeah. Like, Gorthron has a different idea, which is that it is time to go in there and get him. That the longer that he just sits around, the more his actions are legitimized. That what we need to do is break down the door and go get him and figure out what's going on, and then we can either install another Duke or something else. But like, it's just like we're just prolonging the inevitable. That's how Gorthron sees it.
Our two characters in a nutshell. I think this is like very, very illustrative to how our characters think.
Yeah. I mean, there's merit in that, but I like the longer or like installing another one and letting him fester, and it's the length of time involved that Gorthron's like, we need to show him what's what.
And
we've been nice.
Aeson's like, I think we can show him what's what. Let him wither on the vine. I mean, it'll be embarrassing for him. It'll be painful to watch life just go on in Logres. That the only effort that is being made is to keep him penned at home, and everyone else just goes about their life. Like, you have made yourself inconsequential.
like a failed boycott kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But obviously, Aeswin is not the blood and thunder type that Gorthron
Yeah,
is.
I mean,
It's like,
just
and also
everyone but
Gorthron
those
really
of us,
has a good point
everyone
too.
will go about their lives except those of us besieging him.
Mhm.
Is how Gordon looks at it. Like, yeah, I mean that, which is like most of the rest of the country.
Yeah.
There's only like probably like a couple thousand of us here, right?
Yep. It's mostly Radichin, like all the local kind of knights are really summoning for this because you don't
Okay.
need, you know,
Yeah.
we're not going to muster 8,000 knights.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially after the plan of, the Cornwall duel isn't coming in. He's like, that's fine. Is it cool if I sit this one out, y'all? And he's like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. This is the Logris matter, not
so
other parts of
yeah.
Britain. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So not like a skeleton crew per se, but like a pretty minimal siege is going to be set up around Silchester while everyone else basically gets dismissed. All of the musters are disbanded. So they just basically all of the catapults and stuff built are just going to sit there. The siege tower is just going to sit there in the rain.
Getting all rusty.
Yeah. Apparently you would just like build them. You have to build multiple siege towers because they would just get stuck.
They get stuck or fall over.
Yeah, because they're just badly made.
Yeah, because you have to pave the way for them to move first before you can even use them. Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Reading about Alexander's attack on Tyr.
Yeah.
And like building a peninsula to get the siege towers out. Like that's fucking wild.
They'd routinely do that kind of thing. Just like, we're just going to build a hill or a canal or something, whatever we need. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're an island? Not anymore.
Not anymore. No.
We're going to literally take apart a town and use all the stone in that town to make you not an island.
There we go. Yep. Then we're going to build a tower and walk it right up to you. Yep. Siege warfare is great because there's just nothing glamorous about it. It's elbow grease and engineering. It's just, can you dig tunnels? Can you put out fires? Do you have enough food? Yeah,
pretty much pre gunpowder, it was definitely wall meta, strongest defense meta. Yeah, it was. It was just how do I no longer make this a wall?
I mean, arguably, even when we get to 1600s, the conventional wisdom before Maurice of Nassau was like, you got to siege. That's the only. You got to pen them in home and siege them. You can't break down the walls. You got to wait them out.
80 Years War is one of those ones that was my area where it's just like there's thousands of like little skirmishes and dozen people here and 100 people there fighting, but very few like big battles. It's mostly just sieges.
How much
20-year-long sieges.
Yeah, but how much of that is just to collect money?
Almost all of it, Liz. Like that was my area of expertise was the small actions of the English in the 80 Years War, and it's almost always for number one, the thing they're raiding for is horses.
Yeah,
and then after that, it's food, and then the others just to disrupt the enemy. We saw the enemy, we attacked them. That's it. We drove them off, like whatever they were trying to do, because the Spanish held most of the towns. They had an extensive supply network, and so they'd have to guard their caravans and convoys from like Dutch and English raiders that would patrolling the soggy flatlands, canals, and everything. It's really,
it's wild.
It's pretty wild. And then they every time they would have a fight, the most little fight, they'd write back to Queen Elizabeth like, "Man, you should have been there. It was awesome. It was amazing. We did this." I knighted 600 people. Like just one.
Yeah, it's why I'm so fascinated by the Battle of Newport, because it is so different from so much of the fights going on in the 80 Years War. Maurice of Nassau finally gets the idea that like if you any battle is a big risk. That's why you generally didn't do it. But he's like, but that also means that it's a big win if you actually win.
If you actually win, if you train these people and feed them and all that good stuff. Yeah, there were a couple of English captains that were part of his the Prince of Orange's like retinue.
The Very brothers.
Yeah, they were
wild.
Yep.
Apparently, you put a Very brother on the hill, you win the battle.
Hell yeah, you will. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, there's one guy, Sir Roger Williams, in 1585 wrote this book that was essentially arguing for like, we got to get rid of bows, and we got to get rid of this whole like knights in full armor on armored horses. Like, this is not the way of the future. And he'd gotten permission from the queen to go fight with the Spanish to learn how like tercios work.
Yeah.
And then he wrote this book afterwards, and half of the book is like, listen, I was with the Spanish, but it's cool. I had permission. It was fine. And it was in the time they weren't fighting the Dutch. So it's all good. You know, it's really good. It's really
small window, that part.
Yeah, it was a very small window, but he was like, yep, that's what I did. It was really fascinating.
Yep. Sharp sticks and guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've hit a richer vein. Me and Jim's interests are like,
oh yeah,
we're in siege warfare. Absolutely. So we're the king is investing against a siege against Silchester.
Yes.
Who's in charge? Like, who does he put in charge of it?
Yes. It is a rather obscure knight, Skilfred. Grifflet.
Grifflet.
Yeah.
That sounds like something we'd roll on the feast table for what we're eating.
It's true.
We got roast heron and Grifflet.
Yep.
Grifflet is, I don't even know where he's from, but he is most known for being a pious knight because his nickname is Le Fils de Dieu. So he's like the child of God.
That could also be an ironic nickname, sort of. That's like true. God's chosen idiot, you know?
Yeah.
You know, that's
all right.
He is promised Arthur the most ethical siege. Yeah. The Fils de Dieu. He is the most famous thing that he ever did was get horribly wounded by Sir Pellinor at a fountain.
Okay. You know, that's a good person to get wounded by.
Yeah, I mean, like, if he's gonna get wounded,
he
survived the encounter.
There was a story after Sir Balin died about a knight and a fountain and a statue, and he was the first one to figure it out. Sir Pellinor was there. So this was like the 505s ish. Since then, he hasn't really done much.
What would the questing be? Sometimes it's just like, where in the world is King Pellinor?
Yeah, he's somewhere around, just looking for that Gladyscent.
Yep,
jumping out of blackberry bushes.
Right.
He's basically Captain Wales. Yeah. Think about it.
I think Acewin is going to, like, once we're released, I think Acewin's going to make the effort. Be like, Gorthan, let's do something. Let's hang out. Let's do some hunting. Yeah. Like, right. I know all of this shit bothers you.
It does. It really gets to him. Yeah. Gorthan's convinced there's a way that this could be swiftly resolved if he just could grasp it, but he's at this point just who knows.
Instead of hunting, do we do a little mini tournament? Do we do that? Acewin's like, try not to be condescending, but be like, what would Gorthan like?
No, the tournament is good. Yeah. Well, we got to do a tournament because we went out to war and we didn't do a war, and so we'll have to play war.
Sarum is, remember, you all built the tournament jousting areas to solve problems. It's just been this was going to be one of the first years it was going to be put to use, but it was, heretofore delayed, considering we have to siege our neighbor right now.
Yeah.
I think we come back from that like just laden with all our war gear, and they're like, why? Let's just stop here and just have some fun.
I wrote the Joustus program. My notes, but so you could certainly kind of give it up, the feast, and we could have more of some of these judicial jousts. For example, a Downey needs to defend himself. Apparently, he slight his the court of Duplain, who he was assigned to, And now he has to joust for his own honor.
This is exactly what I was hoping would happen.
Yep. So that's one of the first things on the docket. But this was all been kind of put on pause as the siege and stuff was going on. But if we want to like just go there, we could totally can.
Yeah, I think if there's not going to be a
Yeah.
siege where we just bum rush the keep, then let's have ourselves a tournament.
Yep. Yeah, Pelennor goes off. All the other guys, everybody kind of goes off from the siege of Silchester. Okay. We can have ourselves a little tournament here. I don't have a 16 night roster for us about who's going to be playing who, but we can certainly go through the different nights of Salisbury. Could each of you roll a d20 for me, please? Because I have over 20 nights, so I'm just going to limit it to 20. 19 and 5. All right. That means we get Colin, you're going against Sir Kifolk. And Kifolk is from Vagon, just one of the rising stars of the court.
Household Knight of Vagon, or
Yes.
is he okay? So he's
No.
not related to Gwagon,
Correct.
but Gwagon would know him,
Yeah,
presumably.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's kind of like the equivalent of like Nesta would be to Gorthrin, right?
Right.
Like best friend, proficient martialist.
Yeah.
And
Ace
then
Win's going to be the Gwagon and be like, I think I should know.
Yeah.
Does he sit high in the saddle, lean to one side or the other?
and then Gorthrin, for better or worse, you're going against Sir Myriad of Winterborn Dauncey. This is very much like top ranked seed going against lowest ranked seed. You know, it's the equivalent of the bye week. For you are seated as sort of like the expected champion of the feast.
Yeah.
Or sorry, of the tournament.
Or the tournament. Okay, we'll see. Gorthrin's lances.
Yeah. The Earl has volunteered to not ride for this tournament for impartiality's sake and to basically to MC the feast.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So we roll Lance against our opponent.
Yeah, so let's do Gorthrin, let's do Myriad, and you first. This would be Lance.
Yeah, my lance is only 15.
Your Lance is only 15?
Yeah, lance is only 15 for Gorthrin. He's never really done much with the lance.
Mine's
Well,
only 16. Like
yeah.
we have not invested in Lance.
We have not invested.
Myriad has a
Usually
15.
we're rolling with like a charge bonus or something like that with it. But
Yeah.
I think that like this may be one of those things that is worth a passion because Gorthrin's very invested in his standing amongst his peers.
Fair enough then.
We'll see. Let's see. I have my guts telling me to
So
here at the last minute. I'm going with honor.
Sure. The general gist of a tournament goes by jousting in pairs, followed by any formal personal challenges that you want to have, followed by a grand melee. And then in the evening, there's usually like a peasant hunting and archery contest kind of thing. And then there's sort of a big feast. That's usually how tournaments go, where they get announced the winners and you get all the stuff from there.
Are we hunting the peasants? What?
Yeah, it's the most dangerous
Peasant?
game.
They're peasants. They're not that
it's
dangerous.
it's mostly it's all of the less glorious things, right? It basically no one has figured out there should be like an opening act. It's very much like the thing everyone wants to be here is for the joust in the morning. And then it gets progressively less and less and less interesting.
Oh, sorry, Myriad. Oh boy.
You just like obliterate Myriad.
Invested.
You just crit your lance.
Love it.
Yeah. All right, you're going to the next round. Surprising nobody.
Acewin is not going to call on a passion. Not super invested in this. It'd be nice, and she's gonna try her best, but it's not something she's like emotionally putting herself on the line for. Yeah. So
Fail.
Hey.
Wow. Okay. You also proceed to the next round. So both of you remain in the winners brackets.
nice.
All right. Then can each of you then roll d8s for me to see who you're going against?
8, you say.
Yeah. And don't roll the same thing because that's annoying. Perfect. Okay. That would be for Gorthrin. You're fighting Oriel of Vagon. And oh my god, you're Colin.
Yeah.
Guess who you're jousting against? Kill it. What do you plan?
Wait, who?
Long time fan of the channel.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Kill it, the Castellan.
Yeah, kill it. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
where do I know that name? Okay. I might call on a passion here.
Yep. Old let's see. I'm gonna do my best Pruitt impression here and roll well.
Yeah. So passion doesn't carry over.
That did not
probably.
work. No.
Okay.
There's like multiple time between these rounds, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bardcore. I mean, like, I don't want to use "We Will Rock You," but Bardcore version of Kenny Loggins playing as the montage as we crash into each other.
Yeah.
For different.
All right. Having unhorsed one, that
Or
I
playing
think
with the boys.
Yeah, I think the second round I won't go with a passion. Well, I don't know which passion I would use.
What
Every
is
time I call him.
Yeah, I mean, also like before you call in for a passion, like what is it that you need to call on a passion for? Is it like to win here?
I mean, the first round was that Gorthrin, with all this pent up energy, doesn't get knocked on his ass in the first round. So, like for his personal honor, it was like he wants to do well.
That makes a lot of sense.
But now that we're in it, I think that is less important and more just like we'll see how far we get. There's always going to be the grand melee. And he's also invested in like his household knights, how they're doing, that kind of thing. Like,
for sure.
It's a good party. All right. So here's my unmodified lance. Oh, 18.
Okay. Let
See
me.
how we go.
I rolled Killid's one first, so I'll have to roll Oriel's.
Okay.
Oriel's is 17. So under 17. Pass.
3.
All right, you are defeated. An upset.
I'm going to
like a 5-4 victory. It's a tough task between the two.
Gorthrin's record is not in terms of tournament is not this great.
Yeah,
because he has been unhorsed several times before.
You crushed the 3.
I had a 21. Had a 21 and still managed to roll a 10.
Remarkable.
Yep.
You still end up beating.
Oh, right. I did beat him because he rolled a 3. Whew.
Yeah. All the way up there.
That's all I need. Nice.
Perfect. Perfect. I think all of that leaves us with is just you proceeding.
Mm-hmm.
Can you roll a d4 for me?
Yeah.
Okay. That is actually Rufan of Vagon.
Okay.
So you've been fighting, several Knights of Vagon.
Yeah, not going to invoke.
God, this is in my final form.
Yeah, I think it was just against Duplain because he's an asshole. I felt there was something personal at stake, but for this, just regular old Lance. Oh, damn.
Okay. This guy's got a 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
I think he
That's a
wins
good
the
run.
pennant. He wins the
Yeah.
pennant of the first Salisbury inaugural Salisbury tournament.
Well done. Roof on a big on.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, for most of this, Gorthrin has had like a 10 in Lance. Like for most of the Boy King, he just was like, please let those bonuses carry me through. All right. Very good.
All right.
Do we get to do is there a general melee or does anybody have beef with us?
Well, Downey needs to defend himself.
Oh, yeah.
So-
real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Still a big fucking shit deal. Just checking. I know it's not winter phase yet, but
Yep, he loses.
what a good year 523 is.
Yep. Downey gets unhorsed. He has to basically wash dishes for the next year. He's allowed to stay, but yeah, he's basically has to get humiliated for the year.
I think
as a knight.
Acewin makes a point to after the joust go and sickly sweet congratulate a Downey on an honorable attempt, right? Like you did your best. No one faults you for not having done that. We all still just really impressing that it's okay. It's okay. You did everyone. No one doesn't respect you. It's okay. Kill him with kindness.
A Downey.
Poor guy. Yeah.
Poor guy. No, I succeeded. He's a big fucking shitheel.
Yeah.
It's the I rolled. It's right there. It's in the chat. Can't argue with the dice.
Shitheel. All right.
Okay.
Is there any glory? Oh, wait. You have the melee. We're not there.
Yeah, exactly. All right. The grand melee is very much like just a giant skirmish of about 20 on 20.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much like the last people standing.
This is what Gorton's looking forward to.
I think the way to do this will be you'll gain glory as long as a scaled number of glory equal to a series of tests. So I think the first one will probably be sword, followed by valor, and then probably followed by energetic or something about staying up after a long fight.
Okay.
Right.
I can dig it. I don't think there's anything emotionally at stake here for Acewin, so no passions for me.
Yeah. For each joust round that you've won, you gain 10 glory, and then for each of these, you're also going to gain 10 glory.
Okay.
So the further you proceed, with the bonus of 50 glory for winning. So, but we didn't get there.
Okay. And then valor.
Mm-hmm.
So
Distinguishing yourselves.
Energetic.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Look at that. Awesome. Okay. So then it's probably your side's going to be the one that ends up winning, and as a group whole benefit here. So you gain 10 for all of those, and then you gain an additional 30 for winning them all. So that's 60.
Oh yeah.
So.
And I beat 2 people in the joust, so that's 80 total for the joust.
Yeah.
The tournament. Not bad.
Yeah.
One round of the grand melee.
Yes, just one. Sure. I mean, that sort of represents the whole
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
The hunting and archery contests and stuff like that also happen, but again, you're not really participating in those because those are for lesser knights.
Yeah.
And then the last thing there is the feast. Something to consider going forward, I should mention, is that like obviously we all wanted to participate in this one right now, but there will be chances and times when there are contests, and you should be judicious about entering them. Not so that you don't get your ass kicked, but also it's like sometimes people are entering these contests, they're friends of yours and they want to prove themselves, and sometimes you not entering means there's a better chance that they win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially younger knights.
Certainly. Yeah.
It's
like Michael Jordan destroying those kids at the charity benefit.
Yeah. Fuck them kids. Yeah, he will never miss on purpose. Yeah. That exactly. So in that similar vein, so it's very common for some knights to just be like, I'm not really feeling well today. I'm actually not gonna compete, or I don't want to sign up for it.
Especially if it's like a smaller tournament. If we weren't like marching back from a boring siege, then Gorthrin might have sat it out, because definitely doesn't want to like go up against some 3K knight, either just crush them or lose to them, as the case may be. But you might have, I don't know what
kind of like
Sorelli's like.
Yeah. They were actually a 3K knight. You lost it.
Sorelli's, yeah. I mean, that's the other thing is Gorthrin is not built for the tournament. Gorthrin is built for the battlefield.
Yeah.
And so he is very much like let's get this jousting stuff over with so we can just wail on each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, tournament.
Unfortunately, all these young whippersnappers are all learning the tournament stuff early.
Yeah, Hrodgar has got his 20 lance already, because he knows where it's at. All right.
Yeah, perfect.
Somebody glory for that. Great.
Okay. The last thing that I have on the docket for the year is that the results of the siege.
Mm-hmm.
The commander actually gives up the fort and forfeits his life, promising that, hey, I had to do what was commanded. I relent as long as you save and don't raid the city. Arthur is moved by this garrison commander's words and deeds, and basically offers amnesty to him, being like, you don't have to. Rather it says that, help me feed the people of your city, right? And bring in all the food and stuff like that for the UFO is nowhere to be found. And that's basically the garrison commander's like, I've been under orders from UFO since spring to do this stuff. I've never seen UFO since early spring.
This was a Morgan trick.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like, oh, so that's why he didn't, UFO rejected the claims of the duels. Like, yeah, and I didn't want to, obviously tell you that he wasn't here. But we've grown too desperate, and so Silchester back in the fold.
UFO is missing.
UFO is missing.
Is his family still missing too? Or like all of them?
Yep. And the extended family as well.
At this point, can we even take it for granted that it was UFO? What if it was Morgan, in disguise, some shit like that?
Yeah.
So,
especially given how uncharacteristic and sudden it seemed.
So Seraphin is the Regent Duke of Silchester for the time being.
Okay.
Regent Duke of a cadet branch. Okay.
Got there out large somewhere.
Oh yeah.
All right. That bodes ill
But as far, it certainly bodes ill. No son of Ulfius can be found on this continent.
Jeez.
You know,
Okay.
everyone's like
Yeah.
looking around for him. None of them are here. So that's definitely a question for like the Morgan Le Fay situation. So, if you would all indulge me, then, if there's nothing else to do, I would love to go to Winterface and we can just crush this year out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair warning, my parents are coming picking up their dog, so at any moment there's gonna be a knock on my door and the dogs are gonna go fucking wild. So
All good.
I need like 2 minutes to stretch, but it's good. I can go a little longer today.
Yeah. Okay. Let me bring us over to the Winterface so we can go through the order. But I believe it's skill checks and stuff first.
yes.
Where are we? There we are. Zooming around.
Hey, spiritual goes up. Impacts my glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's now another 1/16.
Beautiful. Known for your piety. Well, it's just a hangout for them for this year. I'm glad while they're gone. I'm super glad that I wanted to pick up the pace here and glad we were able to get through this whole year in one time. I know we've been kind of slowed down, especially with those longer part episodes. Just getting the chance to gun it for a year. That's what I wanted. I know some people like to spend like 4 hours per season of every year of Pendragon, and we're trying to, I wanted to see if we can go and finish a whole year, especially this part of the game. There are some definite like nothing happens years. This is kind of one of them, which is I think totally cool. But something the game and like something I hope maybe 6th edition helps address is a little bit more game master advice of, as a game master, know if you want to, like, when you should slot in your own stuff or when you be like, you can kind of just press fast forward a little bit, and like that kind of advice for like playing the long game of like, you can just kind of like, hit, when you're like reading a book and you're just starting to go like, yeah, okay, when is this chapter over?
Are we? Did we get checks for the successes in the tournament?
No, I don't think so. The reason why I say that is simply because I don't think this is the caliber of tournament. I would have given you the checks if you would have went with Gawain and fighting like those guys. I would have given it to you. But I think like you're they're kind of below you. I know their skills are, but it's also like the glory and the test of your skill isn't really the factor here. Does that make sense? It's not challenging enough.
That makes a lot of sense. I've been curious for a while, the glory standing of Salisbury. Like I know that there's like, just as a meta game.
Oh yeah, like the median glory is probably like 2,800.
Yeah. The
average glory is probably like 6,000, and it's frankly like the 3 round table knights like playing the you know what I mean, at the end. You're pulling the average out of the doldrums. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Question for Jim. Outliers. There's a part on the character sheet for joust score.
Yeah.
Have you been tracking your...
I have. As far as I know, we've only been a part of 2 formal jousts or like formal tournaments. Yeah. There was the Easter tournament in Camelot.
Right.
And then this one. I forget if there's another.
Okay.
We're probably going to have to
I just started tracking my joust score.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm 1 for 2.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to recalculate those skills in the next ages and stuff. And I know if we ever do convert to 6E, like they have a charge skill instead of lance, and that's going to be kind of what you use instead of lance in tournament. And so there'll be different changes in there. But it's totally open to that stuff.
I don't even know what the tourney skill is used for, other than
it gets introduced later on. Technically, it still doesn't exist.
Okay, gotcha. I don't even roll my stuff yet.
I think if you wanted to simulate or aggregate an entire tournament into a single roll, I think that's sort of what you could do.
I think there's an interesting argument to be made too on when there becomes such a culture of tournaments that it starts to diverge from the actual skills of using a lance and sword in combat, in much the same way that like there's a difference between like MMA and like street fighting, it's like there's some crossover, but like there are things on like how to use the cage and like what holds you're allowed to do and what you can do without a shirt that very much change up how the sport of it goes.
Yeah, well, that's why one of y'all needs to introduce a bunch of olive oil and do like Turkish wrestling.
What's that wrestling? Is it Turkish wrestling where like the traditional grip is down the dude's pants?
Yep, that's Turkish wrestling.
Amazing.
Just like the streets of Istanbul.
Harness.
Yeah.
Like Mongolian wrestling, there's like a harness the wrestlers wear so that there's something to grab a hold of. But it's just the harness as far as I know. Maybe like a codpiece or something.
This might be telling to the videos I'm looking up, but I distinctly remember a video of like just it like literally it's dudes one hand in the pants of their opponent. I'm like, is this wrestling?
That's Turkish. That's
Turkish
definitely Turkish wrestling. Yeah, and you're completely like just completely oiled up.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like Anthony Bourdain did a video like one of his shows on it once.
That's probably where I saw it.
Yeah,
that's what you're going to tell us at least.
Yeah. I think this is it for my experience. So I have just dancing and falconry and religion that went out.
Falconry is my religion.
Yeah, the noble sport.
Yeah. All right, aging rolls.
First aging roll, right?
For a knight of Gorthrin's rank, a buzzard is an appropriate bird of prey for falconry, according to some book. All right, what do we got here? 2d6. 7. All good.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Ooh, that's 2.
It's 2. Yeah.
All right, 2 more d6.
1 and 5.
Size. Oh no. Nah.
I'm shrinking.
Yeah.
And I'm getting hairier.
It's all those like.
What size and what's the other one?
App. Appearance.
Did you take major wounds this year?
No.
No, that's right.
I think I'm. Yeah. I mean, what does size represent?
The book has a helpful suggestion of sometimes if it doesn't make sense, just be like, it's a witch, like you've been hexed or something. The book has a really helpful like you ate some bad food or you've been cursed to explain like incongruous ability score loss.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, truthfully, the fiction can be whatever. Mechanically, my knockdown is getting easier.
Yeah.
So it could be
balance,
like
even though it's kind of dex.
Yeah. I'm losing mass. I'm becoming more wiry.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Acewin is not going to age like Gareth. Not going to become a silver fox. Not get hotter with age.
Right. And while we're on this screen, let's do some justice events.
Yeah.
So Tilshed's justice event, because I think we are done the aging. We have household member survival and stuff, but also justice events. Unconvincing rich farmer who offers you $1 to settle for him, or a convincing peddler about a child. Ooh, the peddler offers to your kid, your ward. Would you give up your ward?
No.
He's
The Gorthrin feels a deep sense of responsibility for the so far nameless Mayday girl. Not in the like
Oh, do we
loving
need a
sort
name?
of sense. I never I don't think I ever rolled one, and I don't know if she had one on her blanket.
I need a female Saxon name. Ooh. Sign. Gift of the Sun. Oh, maybe that's supposed to be Senna. It's probably Senna. I don't know. I've been I've been trying to read Irish stuff, and I strike out all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just yep, same. No, I'm not interested in parting with Sina, only because like I am responsible. Gorzin's responsible for her, and so no, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes.
Fenris, one of the May babies. You still keep the child, but it's obvious. But it's just that the peddler's mad about it, right?
Yeah, the peddler. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Peddler
that raises your hatred.
Yeah, so it gets back up to 2.
Yeah, despite the granaries, despite those Paneras that you put in.
He's been building them. He's going to keep that up for a few years.
Yeah. All right, so that adds the hatred factor, and then you roll your concern.
It's concerned still. It's not a fumble.
All right, Winterborn gun it.
Basic local priest.
Your basic local priest. Your run of the mill.
Pumpkin spice lattes, Uggs.
Taylor Swift.
Just real base. Very real basic. Okay. I'm gonna try and resolve this.
North faced inner shell, I think, is the other part.
Gonna try and resolve this justly.
Okay.
Fuck me.
That's really bad. They pass. Yep. Okay, that's really bad. I believe your hatred goes up multiple. That happens.
Okay.
Finding my winter phase. When you fumble, when you fail, you increase your hatred by landlord by 1. When you fumble, you increase it by 2.
Okay.
All right. Your hatred goes up by 2. Then you test concerned commoners.
Okay. So
that affects
good news.
This year's misfortune.
Yeah. And have we figured out what my graveyard bonus is?
Yeah, the graveyard. I believe you're going to already be. I don't think it affects this part. The graveyard affects the overall misfortune. It's a modifier equal to the amount of misfortune, where the higher your misfortune, the greater the bonus it gives you.
Yes.
Because they're more superstitious.
Yeah, I have it as Love Landlord, 5 plus graveyard bonus, parenthetical scales with misfortune.
Ah, right. Okay. Then it should give you a bonus, not a malice. So whether that's a subtraction to this roll or an addition to this roll, I'm not sure. But it's the base weather of this year is 19. So that should give you a lot. I believe it should give you a 2.
Okay, so that means that hatred and love cancel out. I just roll my concern. Cool. Go. There we go.
Hey, it passed. That's -5. That brings it down to 14.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Gorthrin, Till said, you are rolling against a 21 this year. It's formidable. You gain some of the base weather maladies from the loss of your bees. But that's just a temporary thing. Do I beat an 11? I did.
Oh, yep.
Tiebreaker. All right, we both pass, but I win, which means you're going to live poorly for this year. So it just means it costs 12 for you to live richly.
In fact, if the harvest is bad, one of the ways that you can reduce hatred of peasants is to reduce the tax burden on the peasants from Book of the Manor. And therefore, I would be footing more of the bill to live richly. But it represents Gorthron leaning on his own stores rather than telling the peasants, you got to pay up this year.
Right. Colin, you got to beat a 9. You do.
Yeah.
All right. You live.
Hell yeah.
You live normally.
I would like to live richly. Let's see. Alwina. Hell yeah. Alwina. Not so lazy no more. Oh, we need to roll survival for.
Yes. That's not right. This should be a 12.
Was it the weather or the harvest that was bad?
In general, it was a bad year. The base misfortune was 19.
Okay, because there is a thing about in bad years. I don't know if I was cut out or not, but like of reducing the tax burden on the peasantry so that the knight would have to pay more of the cost of living instead of relying on income from their peasants, but then their peasants would be paying essentially no tax or less tax as a way to reduce hatred. And I think Gorthron, if that's viable, Gorthron is just like, if it's bad, Gorthron is just like going to tip into the considerable fortune he has.
Yeah.
To live richly and make sure that the people at Till's Head can eat.
I think what that looks like is just it's the same way as you spending the 10 or whatever on an improvement. It's just the 10 is the burden.
Keep that up.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. We'll keep that up then. There's Speederin. Oh, let's see. That was Nesta. Just a second. 2.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. 3. Let's see. Nesta is not yet in the page. And
Nesta's older than 40.
No, this is his daughter, Nesta.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How old?
She is like 6.
Okay, then there's another second roll.
Yeah, there's a second roll.
No problem.
So second roll, no problem. Safe. Yeah.
Another
call.
weird. Yeah, close call with smallpox or some illness or whatever.
But they're safe. Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think he named his 4th daughter Nesta the year that she died.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right. She died in Baden, right?
I think, or she died before that. I think, or at some point, because she was like
before. Yeah, I think it wasn't Baden Hill, but I mean, it was part of. I think it was part of Baden Hill, but I don't think it was the hill.
Yeah. There was another battle the year before that was also bad for the entourage.
Yeah,
Gorthron went to them. Okay, so those are for survivals.
Beautiful. We got to finish our economic stuff. Spouse industries, all that stuff.
We both succeeded our spouse industries.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Further up.
And we glossed over it with the experience rolls. My spiritual went up and my sword.
Your sword went? Wow.
I got it. Yeah. It's now 19.
Till said you don't have to roll for your improvements income because your apiary is busted this year. But everything else works. Colin, you need to roll for the D2 for the apiary. You gotta get yourself a +1.
Yeah.
Okay. Your final. Without any other expenses, your final year for the treasury is 141. So just total, yeah, just you lost 4 gold this year maintaining things.
Should be 131 because I'm spending conspicuously.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Okay. Added. And
Gorthrin spent an extra 8 this year on just getting everybody in the household new duds, like new saddles for the household knights, new clothes for all the retainers, like just real nice stuff. So he spent that extra there and is continuing to spend on Till's head for a second year.
Nice. Okay, so you're dropping 18.
18.
That brings you down to 340 this year. Nice.
Just given all, especially the household knights, they've been very loyal. They all get new, cloak clasps and
then
stuff.
Yeah, then we got household member improvements, training and practices, and glory.
Stable survival.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I know my Roll20 window's all fucked up. It's just I can't fix it right now. I don't know why my pop-out window's fucked up, so I lost all of the everything on it.
I have my palfrey that was born in 507
Just died.
Finally dies.
My God.
One of our oldest riding horses.
All mine are good.
Beautiful. Now that you actually have special horses. You have special horse stock. We can now introduce our punnet squares, which I've been waiting for.
Nice.
For horse breeding.
Ooh, we got 2 6s on those. Let me see which horses those were. That's. Ooh.
I have room for horses now.
One of them that rolled a 6 is Arianwin, the elf blood courser. That that's my the fourth horse of my stable. So I got a charger and the courser got 6s.
Arianwin was bred though with your normal stock, right? So it's a special plus normal.
It'd be a special. Yeah, I have other coursers that. Yeah.
Okay, so then you need to roll a d4. There's a 25% chance the trait is passed on. My God. It's born with the star. It's a special trait.
We're gonna write to King Godwin.
Yo, you're like you're what would be the job? Guys, would it be groom for a horse breeder?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
as well. Like your groom's just like writing notes down, being like, "It's a beautiful day today." Like we,
yeah, we've done.
We must recreate these conditions every year. Like
yes, exactly. It was beautiful. Yeah. Just like the meadow was in full bloom.
Yeah, it was blessed.
So I rolled 3 6s. And no joke, these correspond to the gift from Arthur.
Yep.
My old trusty warhorse Odysseus, and the gift from Gorthrin. So those are the 3 horses. My 3 favorite horses are all the ones that bred.
Hell yeah for horses.
Well, I don't think you have a special trait horse, so they're all just carried on.
Wasn't the king's gift?
They're
no, it's just
they're just Andalusians. Yeah.
Okay. Nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still writing down Son of King's Gift.
Yeah, for sure. But they are just Andalusian horses. The special trait is just it's just like a legendary skin. That's all. It doesn't really, it doesn't, yeah.
Charge damage.
Yeah. That's,
No,
I
there's
mean,
no
that's
material
fair.
benefit. It's just literally just pay to win.
What I'm doing now, though, is I'm going to now track the lineage of horses. Like, this horse is descended from a gift from King Arthur. Like, this is a good horse.
Yeah,
I want that shit. Yeah, I think that's. I mean, we're tracking legacy. Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's that important for the horses, considering how important they are to our lives. Did you read the thing on Reddit about horses and how wild they are? By wild,
no.
I mean like nearly suicidal.
That's
the fact that we like. I don't understand. Like the fact that like we trained horses for combat is just incredible, considering how like if they hurt their legs, they're basically the way they keep their weight on their legs means that like they're not going to be good at all, ever.
Yeah.
Right?
It's wild
the
sort of like the traits that have been bred into horses. Like there's very few animals that's like I'll die for a person.
Yeah,
I'll give my life for this human being.
Yeah,
God respect horses.
Horses, yeah, like horses are super heavy animals, bred to be much larger than they should naturally, and they put all their weight on basically 4 toenails.
Mm-hmm.
And like their skin on their legs is like there's no fat. It's like entirely just gets narrowed down to these points, which is not a good way to distribute the weight of a massive 1,000-ton animal, or like a ton animal, and that's what causes the points of failure for them. It's just that simply the dang weight ratio to where it touches the ground is a problem. And then they're also just like skittish.
Did they smell a camel? You're not going to fight that day. Like that's why cavalry charges they're so rare. Like they tried to pull them off all the time, but most of them are failures. It takes like the stars are right for it to be just what it's supposed to be.
There's a war game, produced by Polemos, sold by Bacchus Miniatures, for the English Civil War, and it has one of the coolest modelings of a horse charge, which is you treat it like shooting. If you miss, the horses wouldn't do it. Like that's what it represents. It's a resolve during the shooting phase, because like it's hard to get them to do that charge, especially during the English Civil War when it's a giant mass of pikes.
Yep.
Right. Smell of gunpowder and smoke.
Exactly. Not to mention the shot going off everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. The smell of horse blood.
Yeah. No, ain't nothing sticking around that place.
No.
Awesome. No. Well, experience improvements and then glory.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, building projects. I would like to expand my training ground. So right now I get a check for sword. I want to get like a tourney ground as well for lance. I think Acewin's embracing the age of tourneyship.
Perfect. Added. Is that going to be probably like what, 10?
Yeah, I think that's what my training grounds were.
Yeah. Okay. 121.
Okay, and now improvement. What am I going to improve? I think I'm going to improve Loyalty Lord to 16 and Love of Family to 18. I did that twice because I'm crossing in the glory threshold this year again.
Congrats.
Last year I ended up going with I raised a bunch of skills, and then spent my glory bonus on con. So I think this year, man, I have a feeling that our loyalty to Arthur is going to start coming into question, given this UFO stuff. Given Morgan, I'm going to raise my loyalty passion to Arthur, which makes it a 16. Glory total. Not crossing any thresholds this year, I know.
Just Acewin.
Yeah, last year I crossed one. It's been kind of a quiet few years for Gorthrin glory-wise compared to.
Well, not every year you're killing giants.
Yeah, not every, and honestly, it kind of like the transition of that marking an end of. That's when you start to make aging rolls.
Yeah.
And let's see.
Okay. Looks like I end the year with 13,200 or so.
Catching up. Okay, I'm going to be ending with, let's see.
Wowie.
I'm at 14,637.
Okay, so you pulled away again. God damn it. I briefly, there was the 1 year I was within like 1,000 or so. You're a whole ass knight.
I had a couple of years where after I lowered my lustful, that I wasn't getting as much annual. So, but I raising my loyalty boosts that back up.
Yeah. And here I was being like, I get the chivalry bonus and the martial bonus, and I've got a decent number of traits. Yeah, it's a lot. I rake in for traits and passion 363 glory each year.
Yeah.
Passive.
Essentially, that means if the year gets me around 600 glory for the activities we do, then I'm going to cross 1,000 that year.
Yeah.
Hey, it's pretty sick.
That's pretty sick.
Dope.
Well, thanks for letting me go late with y'all today.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna come back with 524 and see what happens.
Something's got to be coming.
Yeah,
I can feel
awesome.
it.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for playing Pendragon with me today, and everyone watching and hanging out. It's always fun. I love this game. I love that I get to spend my Sundays with y'all playing this. It's good stuff.
Very cool. Very cool game. Love it.
Okay. Then we'll see you all next week. Take it easy.
Later.